There's an old story about Harry Houdini, known for his extraordinary escape artistry and illusion skills. He boasted of his ability to free himself from any prison cell in the world in less than an hour, provided he was wearing his own clothes. That's when a small new prison in the British Isles decided to test that claim. They were extremely proud of their prison and challenged Houdini to escape from the cell. He readily accepted the challenge. He arrived in the town and entered the cell, certain he would encounter no difficulties. On the appointed day, spectators gathered to see Houdini enter the cell confidently as the steel door closed behind him. Reporters and onlookers packed the place to witness the prowess of one of the world's most famous magicians. Houdini's first action was to take off his coat and, in a surprising move, remove his belt, revealing a hidden 10-inch steel blade, flexible and sturdy. With it, Houdini began his escape attempt. After 30 minutes, his expression was one of insecurity and exhaustion. At the end of an hour, he was drenched in sweat. After 2 hours, almost about to give up, Houdini literally fell against the door, and it immediately opened. In fact, the door had never been locked, except in his own mind. The change that God and the universe want to make in your life begins in the mind. But it will only be possible if you rid yourself of your own blockages. The story of Houdini leads us to reflect on the mental prisons we build for ourselves, overestimating obstacles that, in reality, may have simple solutions. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "The mind, once stretched by a new idea, never returns to its original dimensions." The power of the mind is immense, capable of deceiving us with lies, doubts, and insecurities. We must remember that, as Houdini demonstrated, the only locked doors are inside us. The doors of reality are open, and we just need the courage to walk through them. Just like Houdini in that open cell, many of us find ourselves confined not by physical barriers, but by the invisible walls we build in our minds. Fears, doubts, and insecurities act as invisible locks, keeping us imprisoned in a limited space of possibilities. The irony, like the unlocked door of Houdini's cell, lies in the fact that the barriers preventing us from exploring the vast potential of our lives are, more often than not, unlocked. Upon encountering the open door, Houdini could have remained in the cell, puzzled by the lack of the expected challenge. However, he chose to leave, an act symbolizing his liberation from self-imposed restraints. This story invites us to reflect on our own mental prisons. Are we really locked in, or has the door preventing our progress always been open, just waiting for us to decide to leave? Our challenges throughout life are a clear reminder that often the only obstacle between us and our freedom is the perception of limitations. Like the magician walking out of his barrier-free cell, we are called to recognize that the keys to our prisons are in our hands. By changing our perspective and facing the fears that imprison us, we may discover that the doors we believed were locked can be easily opened, freeing us to explore the world of possibilities waiting outside. The notion of freedom is widely celebrated in contemporary society. However, a deeper investigation reveals a paradoxical reality. This freedom, as it is preached, is not real freedom, but merely apparent. Countless people live under the shadow of self-imposed restrictions, confined in a sort of mental prison of their own creation, although they may seem truly free to outside eyes. This scenario suggests a challenge that is not only social, but deeply individual. One of the central concepts for understanding and overcoming this dilemma is negative self-talk, a critical voice within us that perpetuates a cycle of doubt and self-censorship. This inner critic acts as an agent of sabotage, undermining confidence and imposing severe limitations on our potential for growth. It becomes a significant barrier to personal achievement when we continuously question our capabilities and harshly judge our actions. But what feeds this judgment, and how can we rid ourselves of it? The true heart of the matter lies in our perception of identity and self-worth. Modern society, with its incessant demands and expectations, shapes individuals who often base their values on externally imposed standards. This constant pursuit of external approval and recognition fuels the inner critic, turning it into an even more dominant force in our lives. The solution to this impasse lies in reconnecting with our authentic selves and rediscovering our positive inner voice that external and internal noises have muffled. This requires a deep dive into our minds, questioning the origins of our limiting beliefs and, more crucially, challenging them. By replacing negative self-talk with a more affirmative and constructive dialogue, we begin to pave the way for a freer and fuller existence and the exploration of our true potential. In this scenario, another extremely important concept emerges: neuroplasticity. It represents the remarkable ability of the brain to reconfigure itself in response to our actions, thoughts, and experiences. Scientific revelations over the last 2 decades have shown that the brain, this enigmatic and complex entity, is capable of change and adaptation at all stages of life, often without our awareness. Imagine the power we would have if we decided to enter this process consciously. We must urgently take active responsibility for reshaping our neural networks in an intentional and meaningful way, recognizing the immense power of awareness in this process. Thus, we are introduced to a new paradigm in which neuroplasticity is an open door to personal transformation. This paradigm highlights the almost unlimited potential of the human brain, whose functionalities and capacities remain a vast territory to be explored. Niels Bohr, one of the fathers of quantum physics, once observed that the true understanding of quantum theory lies in our ability to be surprised by its implications. Our traditional experience of the world, filtered through the 5 senses, teaches us to perceive time, space, and objects as separate and independent entities. This perception, shaped by the Newtonian paradigm, is strikingly different from the quantum view of reality. In quantum reality, everything that exists is vibratory energy, incessantly interconnected, and consequently there is no separation. It's as if the entire world were a vast vibrating network, where each point of energy, from the smallest grain of sand to the vast galaxies, is interconnected. Consider one of the most fascinating experiments in quantum physics, the double-slit experiment. It essentially showed that the way we observe something can literally change its nature. In other words, our consciousness or the attention we give to something can directly influence the world around us. Isn't that amazing? It's as if we have a hidden superpower in the way we perceive and interact with everything. From this deep understanding that we live in a universe where vibrational energy constitutes the essence of everything, and that this energy is perpetually interconnected, we arrive at the intriguing concept of the quantum vacuum. Often, when people talk about the quantum vacuum, they imagine a great nothingness. But in reality, this nothing is brimming with energy and possibilities. It's more appropriate to think of it as an energetic web that connects everything. Understanding that we live in a universe where consciousness and energy are the true protagonists is to recognize that, in a way, we are co-creators of our reality. Every thought and every action we take can direct the energy that connects us to everything and everyone. By understanding that our thoughts and choices have the power to guide this energy, we enter into a new paradigm, not just of self-discovery, but also of understanding the laws that govern the reality we inhabit. Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychologists in history, introduced the concept of synchronicity to describe occurrences that align so surprisingly and opportunely that they go beyond mere coincidence and chance. Jung argued that such coincidences point to a deeper layer of reality, suggesting an interconnected universe where everything is intertwined. By visualizing the cosmos as a vast fabric of energy, this interconnection can be likened to the structure of a spider web, where every vibration, from the lightest touch to the resonant sound of a prey court, carries purpose and meaning. This energetic web, which envelops and intertwines with our being, responds and communicates through the universal language of vibrations. Each entity in the universe, distinguished by its unique energy signature, contributes to this cosmic dialogue with its specific vibration, a composite of thoughts, beliefs, hopes, desires, and fears. Our personal vibration, then, not only defines us, but also connects us and allows us to attract synchronicities that resonate with our individual energy. 1,000 invisible hands will come to be with you, help you, guide you, and bring the things you desire into your life. The ability to bring synchronicity into our lives is grounded in the essential understanding that we are intrinsically connected to everything around us. Developing awareness of this intimate connection and nurturing a solid belief in our ability to interact with the cosmos through our thoughts and intentions sets us on a path filled with meaningful coincidences. This perspective is a profound understanding of our place in the universe and our ability to actively shape the reality around us. By harmonizing with the energy web and trusting in this flow, we begin to act as co-creators of our own story, attracting synchronicities that not only reflect our internal vibrations, but also enrich our life experience. However, this stance requires us to be open to recognizing and accepting the invisible hands Campbell mentions. Life, in its complexity and beauty, is constantly sending us signals, opportunities, and encounters that, when embraced, can guide us to surprising and enriching paths. Perceiving these synchronicities, interpreting them as bridges to our desires and goals, and acting in accordance with the universe's whispers requires sensitivity. Cultivating an attitude of receptivity and gratitude for the wonders of everyday life transforms our journey into an adventure of discovery and fulfillment. Every moment becomes an opportunity to witness the extraordinary. Our mind is a tireless storyteller, constantly creating narratives about all aspects of life. When we face financial adversities, health challenges, or relationship issues, our mind crafts stories that often intensify our perception of these adversities. This narrative process goes beyond the superficiality of things. It resides in our subconscious, a fertile ground for the fixation of any pattern, image, or belief. Regardless of their constructive or destructive nature, positive or negative, true or false, with repetition, these stories become permanently rooted in our innermost being. The conscious mind, our most immediate layer of perception, is limited to what we directly experience. Our thoughts, the books we read, the movies we watch, and the conversations we have. Based on these experiences, we shape our understanding of the world. Driven by a deep desire to unravel the mysteries around it, the conscious mind creates narratives to explain the ups and downs of existence, proposing solutions and drawing conclusions that do not always reflect reality as it is. In contrast, the subconscious transcends these perceived boundaries. Deeply connected to the universe, it accesses a much broader range of information, establishing a bridge between the individual and the universal. This connection suggests that, on a deeper level, the subconscious and the universal energy matrix are inseparable. Unlike the conscious mind, which is limited to accumulated personal experiences, the subconscious, in its fusion with the whole, holds the key to a reservoir of universal wisdom. Understanding everything we've discussed so far, we find the key to our freedom. The same freedom that was hidden from Houdini's eyes. By synchronizing our conscious mind with the subconscious, and by extension, with cosmic intelligence, we open doors to insights and revelations that transcend knowledge acquired through direct experiences. Our journey toward true freedom involves a deep attunement between our conscious mind and the vast universe of the subconscious, interconnected with the infinite energetic web of the cosmos. Therefore, the freedom we seek lies in the unveiling and harmonizing of these inner layers, which guide us toward a fulfilled and authentic existence. If this video resonated with you, write in the comments, "It makes sense to me." Remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to receive all the latest teachings.